Hey, it's good to see you today. My name is Philip Thomas, pastor of Journey here in Elgin, Texas. And this is our journey through scriptures. So we are, this is going to, the next couple times are going to be a little challenging. We're going to throw in quite a few Psalms. But so today, read Nehemiah 11 and 12. We're going to go through Nehemiah 11 and 12, and then Psalm 120 through 134. Now, they're not real long Psalms, but 120 through 134. All right, so we've come off the they're in the process of dedicating the temple and the city and getting the city back in working order again. Nehemiah. Remember, Nehemiah kind of started off in third person. Then it kind of became more of just historical. Here's what happened, and then we're going to hit in a moment, or I guess in chapter 13. Nehemiah is then back in third person telling the story. But what we have here in Nehemiah chapter 11 is the importance of the people coming back to actually dwell in the city of Jerusalem. Right. So you have a mixture of things going on here. You have people that have been in exile that are now returning. You have people that didn't go into exile. There is some tension there. There's actually some different theological things going on here. Some felt that the people who were in exile, were more pure than the people who remained behind, because many of the people who remained behind intermarried with many of the tribes around there. So there's lots going on. But one thing that is very important, obviously, is the importance of the rebuilding of the temple, the importance of Jerusalem, because all of that was a reminder and a looking forward to the eventual Messiah. One thing that we see happen is we've talked about Zerubbabel before. Remember, he was in exile, and then the Babylonians and then the Persians actually allowed him to be kind of a governor. But Zerubbabel was actually of the line of David. And so now it didn't come to fruition that he became king or anything like that. But that was a constant thought within the people's mind is where is that next king going to come from that's from the line of David that will be the Messiah. And you see some elements of that, but that's why it's important when they're talking about all the people that are moving back into Jerusalem. They actually had people that would volunteer. In chapter 11, it says, "And the people blessed all the men who willingly offered themselves to dwell at Jerusalem." And then they would draw lots for who was going to actually live in the city. And so chapter 11 then just goes through all the different people, the positions, things like that, where they will be dwelling. Chapter 12 talks about the priests and the Levites. This is where it talks about the priests and Levites who came up with Zerubbabel, and their different roles and things like that. And then Nehemiah chapter 12, verse 27, says, "Now at the dedication of the wall of Jerusalem, they sought out the Levites in all their places to bring them to Jerusalem to celebrate the dedication with gladness, both with thanksgiving and singing, with cymbals and stringed instruments and harps." So there's a big festival that is happening, a celebration. And that's where we've decided to insert Psalm 120 through 134. What you'll see is all of these Psalms, again, we don't know exactly the time that these were written. Some of them seem to be written possibly by David, so obviously that wouldn't be in this time frame. But they are all labeled Song of Ascents. So it appears that these were all within kind of one songbook at one time, right? And that they were used for specific things. Well, the ascent, what is that? That is going up. And the temple was on the Temple Mount. And so you would have to ascend to go to the temple. So the celebration here and all of these Psalms are kind of about who God is, what he represents, and the connection with the temple. And so as they are ascending to dedicate the new temple and the new city and the walls and all that it is, It's possible that these were some of the songs that were sung, some of the ways that they worshiped God and remembered who he was. So again, these are pretty short. So I encourage you really, if you want to skip Nehemiah 11 and 12, I understand that. It's just a bunch of names. But Psalm 120 through 134, really, really powerful. So Psalm 120 says, "In my distress, I cried to the Lord, and he heard me. Deliver my soul, O Lord, from lying lips and from a deceitful tongue. What shall be given to you, or what shall be done to you, you false tongue, sharp arrows of the warrior with coals on the broom tree." Um, and then down at the end, it says, "I am for peace, but when I speak, they are for war." The tension and the difficult times that the people are in, but in that distress, they cried to the Lord, and he heard them. He delivered them, even though they're still in a tenuous spot. Psalm 121, "I will lift my eyes to the hills. From where does my help come from? My help comes from the Lord who made the heaven and earth." When we need help, where are we looking? Are we looking to the Lord? Are we looking to him? Hopefully so, because that is where our help comes from. The end of that verse 7 of chapter 121, "The Lord shall preserve you from all evil. He shall preserve your soul. The Lord shall preserve your going out and your coming in from this time forth and forevermore." Psalm 122, "I was glad when they said to me, 'Let us go into the house of the Lord.' Our feet have been standing within your gates, O Jerusalem," right? The joy of being able to return to the temple, be able to go into the house of the Lord. Um, do you have that joy of worshiping God, of being in his presence? Um, Psalm 121, "Unto you I lift up my eyes, O you who dwell in the heavens. Behold, as the eyes of the servants look to the hands of their masters, the eyes of the maid to the hand of their mistress, so our eyes look to the Lord our God until he has mercy on us." Have mercy on us, O Lord, have mercy on us, for we are exceedingly filled with contempt. Our soul is exceedingly filled with the scorn of those who are at ease, with the contempt of the proud. Right? This is that you come to the Lord whenever you are struggling, when you are frustrated, when you're overwhelmed. Come to the Lord, ask him to have mercy. Where does your help come from? Are you looking to the Lord? Psalm 124, "If it had not been the Lord who was on our side, let Israel say now, if it had not been the Lord who was on our side when men rose up against us, they would have swallowed us alive. When their wrath was kindled against us, their waters would have overwhelmed us. The stream would have gone over our soul, and the swollen waters would have gone over our soul." Right? So recognizing that how God has intervened, how God has worked in your life. Now, Psalm 126, "When the Lord brought back the captivity of Zion, we were like those who dream. Then our mouth was filled with laughter, our tongue was singing. Then they said among the nations, 'The Lord has done great things for them. The Lord has done great things for us, and we are glad.'" How, just recognizing how God was present during the captivity, how he brought them out of captivity, how he used that situation and he was glorified through it all. Um, Psalm 127, "Unless the Lord builds the house, they labor in vain who build it. Unless the Lord guards the city, the watchman stays awake in vain. It is vain for you to rise up early, to sit up late, to eat the bread of sorrows, for so he gives his beloved sleep." Right? I love that. It's basically just give things over to God. How many times do we just consume ourselves with worry and concern, and we hold on to our burdens, but yet He is the one who will build the house. If we try to build it ourselves, we labor in vain. Psalm 131, "Lord, my heart is not haughty, nor my eyes lofty, neither do I concern myself with great matters, nor with things too profound for me. Surely I have calmed and quieted my soul, like a weaned child with his mother, like a weaned child is my soul within me. O Israel, hope in the Lord from this time forth and forever." I love just the humbleness here, just that simple faith, of relying on God, that simple trust that we put in God. Then you can continue to read Psalm 132. Kind of talks about the eternal dwelling with God in Zion. 134 is the blessing of it says, "Behold, how good and how pleasant it is for brethren to dwell together in unity." Right, that the people are unified again, that they are together. 134, "Behold, bless the Lord, all you servants of the Lord, who by night stand in the house of the Lord. Lift up your hands in the sanctuary. Bless the Lord who made heaven and earth. Bless you from Zion." So all of this is just a thanksgiving, a worship, and kind of as the people are ascending back to the temple, and the city is being revived again. And then the end of Nehemiah chapter 12, verse 31 and on, talks about the Levites, the roles, the people that are being put at the gates. Nehemiah actually kind of, the spiritual aspect is very important to him, so he puts together the Thanksgiving choirs and things like that to get them ready to celebrate and to give thanks for all that God has done. And it's on verse 43, "Also that day they offered great sacrifices, rejoiced, for God had made them rejoice with great joy. The women and the children also rejoiced, so that the joy of Jerusalem was heard afar off." All right, so this is a wonderful time of celebration. All right, so hang in there. I know this can, go ahead and read Nehemiah 13, but then we're going to go ahead and take out another large block of Psalms. These are Psalms of praise, again, that kind of flow from praising God for what he has been doing, how he has been faithful, how the temple is being rebuilt. So let's do Psalm 104 and 107. Then a big chunk, 111 to 118, 135 and 36, and then 145 through 150. So 104, 107, 111 through 118, 135 and 36, 145 through 150. All right, and then read Nehemiah chapter 13. All right, so that's quite a few Psalms to read through, but I think you'll be blessed whenever you do that. And we will see you again on